Hi, my name is Susan Zakwitz, and I am principal of Brockton High School. And I'd like to introduce a video today that was made here at Brockton High School, and it's a scenario that could happen in any school at any time. But I want to say something about the students in this video. These kids are playing roles. They are actually wonderful students in Mr. Jeff Driscoll's law classes, and they worked hard to make this happen, many, many hours after school to do this. And we hope that this video that you'll see serves as a teaching tool for you and prompts great discussion in classrooms everywhere. Now, I want to give one last reminder, sort of like a disclaimer that they give on TV. The following video is fictitious, and it does not depict any actual persons or event. In fact, the kids that are in this video are great kids. They are terrific students, and I am very proud to be their principal.
I'm sorry. All right, well, here's your paper.
Thank you. Can I have fast class? Late again, Sabrina. Have a seat. Oh, boy, yo, Force, I asked you nicely. Wait right here. Miss Perkins?
Sure, is there a problem?
Yeah, there's a student out there who smells like marijuana. I think she might have just smoked a joint.
I'll check it out.
All right.
Young lady, why are you so late to school today?
My mom's car broke down. I had to walk all the way up from the north side.
Okay. Well, you know, I really didn't smell anything. I'm fighting a cold, but that's about it.
Yeah, I did, and it was marijuana. Sabri, can I see you over here, please? All right, Sabri. Are you under the influence, or do you have any drugs on you right now?
Does look like I am.
So you wouldn't mind if I checked your bag?
What do you think?
What is this? Drugs?
No, it's not
A
my.
scale? Is
Somebody
this a
put
list
that in
of
my
your
bag. That's not my
customers?
stuff.
Okay,
Somebody
you know
put
what?
that in my
Everyone
bag.
calm down. Things are getting out of hand.
Miss Perkins, will you call Sabri's parents and the school police? You have made a huge embarrassment of me and this school. The police will deal with you now. Hello, officer.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
What's going on?
I found marijuana, a contact list, and a couple cell phones in Miss Pearson's
This
backpack.
stuff is not mine.
Well, Ms. Pearson, I'm going to have to place you under arrest for possession of marijuana. I'm going to advise you of your rights. Okay? Before asking any questions, my duty to advise you of your rights. You have the right to remain silent. If you choose to speak, anything you say may be used against you in court of law and other proceedings. You have the right to counsel with a lawyer before answering any questions. You may have him present with you during any questioning. If you can't afford a lawyer, and you want one, a lawyer will be provided you by the Commonwealth without cost to you. You understand what I just told you?
Yes.
Okay, you may also waive your right to counsel and your right to remain silent, make or answer any questions, make any statements you wish. And if you decide to answer questions, you can stop at any time to consult with an attorney. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Stand up. You're going to be placed under arrest at this time. You have anything else on you? You have anything sharp in your pockets? Any weapons?
No.
Nothing? All right, I'm going to take all this stuff into the police station. We'll take it as evidence and it'll all be turned in there, okay?
Okay, thank you, officer.
And you will be summoned in. Okay, young lady, let's go.
Oh, what are you charging me with? I did nothing wrong.
We're going to take you downtown so you can be booked. Possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute.
The arms off you can.
Come right over there. Close that door. step right up here? You want to spell your last name for me?
P-E-A-R-S-O-N.
And how old are you?
17,
And what's your birthday?
12/30/1990.
Sabri, you been here before?
Yes.
Yeah, it says here you've been arrested for the same thing before, right?
Yes.
So it's the second time you've been arrested for distribution of marijuana
Yes.
within a school zone. You understand that you're looking at a long time, right?
Yes.
You have a job?
No.
No. Do you have any source of income?
No.
No income. Okay. Sabri, you've been advised of your rights out there at the scene, right? All right. Just so you know, you have an additional right while you're in here. You have a right to a phone call. Call family, friend, or attorney to arrange for bail. You understand that?
Yes.
You want to make a phone call?
Yes. Mom? Mom? Yeah, can you come get me?
All rise. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable Patricia A. Downey, the Justice of the Brockton Superior Court, now sitting at Brockton, within and for the Commonwealth. Dear near, give your attendance and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Please be seated.
Mr. Weaver, please call the first case.
The Commonwealth versus Sabri Pearson. The defendant is charged with 1 count of distribution of marijuana, subsequent offense, and distribution of a controlled substance within the school zone. A plea of not guilty will be entered on your behalf.
Is the Commonwealth seeking bail?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ms. Angela O'Neill for the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is requesting bail in this case. The defendant is before the court on charges with possession with intent to distribute marijuana, a subsequent offense. The case arises out of an incident which allegedly occurred on December 17, 2008. On that date, Brockton police officer arrived at the Brockton High School and was informed by the school principal that the defendant had arrived late for school and come to the office to get a pass. The principal immediately smelled marijuana and requested the vice principal to enter the room. Although the vice principal was suffering from a cold, did not smell anything. The principal searched the defendant's backpack. Inside, she found a leafy green substance, which has been analyzed at the state lab and is in fact marijuana. She also found a scale, 2 cell phones, and a list of phone numbers. The defendant was arrested and taken to the station. The Commonwealth seeks bail on this case for the following reasons. This is a strong case for the Commonwealth. The drugs and items commonly associated with dealers were found in the defendant's possession. The defendant has a prior conviction on her record for a similar offense. Thus, if convicted, faces the penalty of a subsequent offender. The defendant has 3 prior defaults on her record. For these reasons, the Commonwealth requests a $1,000 cash bail.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill. Mr. Howell?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm here to request the bail of my client, Ms. Sabri Pearson, on her own personal recognizance. Ms. Pearson presents no threat of danger to the community. Conversely, she is an asset to it. A 17-year-old high school senior, Ms. Pearson has been a resident of Brockton for over 2 years and lives with both of her parents, along with 4 siblings. Ms. Pearson is a leader among her peers and holding a captain's position in the Brockton High School girls basketball team. My client is also a leader in the community, volunteering for the Brockton Community Schools basketball clinics. Although my client has had a few defaults, they were cleared up immediately and presents no risk of flight from jurisdiction. In regards to an evidentiary matter, the defense presents a motion to suppress due to an unlawful search and seizure and the breach of her privacy. There is no search warrant used, nor does there seem to be an arguable exception for the need to obtain a warrant. Ms. Pearson did not consent to the search. The substance was not in plain view, nor was it in an imminent danger. This piece of evidence would therefore be highly prejudicial and deprive my client of a fair trial. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Howell. Mr. Weaver?
The defendant is released on her own recognizance. Should you be arrested while you are on bail, You can be held without bail up to 60 days in the House of Corrections. You are due back in court on March 17th for your pretrial hearing. You are free to leave.
All rise. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable Patricia A. Downey, the Justice of the Brockton Superior Court, now sitting at Brockton, within and for the Commonwealth. Dear near, give your attendance and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Please be seated.
Mr. Weaver, please call the next case.
The Commonwealth versus Sabree Pearson. Are the parties both ready for the motion to suppress?
Yes.
Attorneys, please identify yourselves for the court.
Angela O'Neill for the Commonwealth.
Daniel Cowell for the defendant.
The prosecution may call their first witness.
The prosecution would like to call Alexandra Corbin May.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Would you state your name for the record?
Alexandra Corbin May?
Are you currently working?
Yes.
And where do you work?
Brockton High School.
What do you do there?
I am the principal of the high school.
And how long have you been the principal?
5 years.
All right. And what do you do as a principal?
I oversee the running of the entire school.
Prior to becoming principal, were you working?
Yes.
And what did you do?
I was a teacher for 15 years.
Okay. And as part of your job as principal, are you familiar with the internal protocols for the school?
Yes.
And if a student is late, is there a certain protocol that needs to be followed?
Yes.
And what is that?
They need to receive a pass.
And what happens if they do not get the pass?
They are not allowed in class.
Is there a school protocol in effect if the student is suspected of having drugs on their person?
Yes.
And does Brockton High School have a student handbook?
Yes.
And what is discussed in that handbook?
All the rules for the school.
And are the students required to sign the handbook?
Yes, the students and their parents.
Okay. And are there any regulations regarding searches by faculty in the handbook?
Yes.
And what are those?
The faculty may search a student as long as they receive consent.
And were you working on December 17, 2008?
Yes.
And at approximately 7:30, where were you?
I was in the office.
Would you describe the layout of the office?
As soon as you walk in, there's a counter right in front of you, and there's an office area in the back.
And were you with anyone in the office at that time?
Yes.
And who was it?
I was speaking with another teacher, Mrs. McGee.
And where were you standing?
I was standing at the end of the counter.
All right, where was Miss McGee standing?
She was standing directly in front of me.
What, if anything, happened at that time?
At that time, Miss McGee exited the office, and Sabree walked in.
All right. And do you see Sabree in court today?
Yes.
And could you point to her, please?
She's sitting right there with the black sweater on.
May the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant?
It may.
Where in the office did the student go?
She was standing directly in front of me.
And did she have anything with her?
Yes.
What?
She had her backpack.
And what happened next?
At that time, I smelled marijuana, and I went and I asked Sabree to take a seat.
And after you'd smelled the marijuana, what did you do?
I had gone into the back office to ask Miss Perkins to come and see if she could smell it also.
And then what happened?
At that time, Miss Perkins walked out into the front office and spoke to Sabree.
How close were you to Sabree?
A few feet.
And how about the vice principal?
Same distance.
And if anything, did Sabree do?
She said that we were forcing it.
And then what happened?
And then myself and Miss Perkins walked into the back office.
Did the vice principal say anything?
She said that she had been fighting a cold and that she did not smell anything.
And then what happened?
And then we walked back out into the front office.
Did you still smell the marijuana?
Yes.
And then what?
And then I asked Sabri if I could search her bag. I asked her if she had been under the influence or if she had any drugs on her.
What did Sabri do?
She got upset and placed her book bag on top of the counter.
And then what did you do?
Then I asked Sabri if I could search her bag.
Did Sabri say anything?
She said, "What do you think?"
And what did you do?
I proceeded to check her bag.
Did you see anything?
Yes,
And what?
there was a scale in there, 2 cell phones, a list with names on it, and little bags with marijuana in them.
And did Sabri say anything while you searched her bag?
Not that I recall.
Did she ever tell you to stop or say she did not agree to the search?
No.
After you found those items, what happened?
I then asked Miss Perkins to contact the police.
And did the police come?
Yes.
And then what happened?
When they arrived, they read Sabri her rights and gathered all of the contents of the book bag and the book bag and left.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hal, you may proceed.
Ms. Corbin-May, you said you were the principal of Brockton High School?
Yes.
As principal, do you have any extensive training in the area of drugs?
We attended a one-day seminar on marijuana and other drugs.
So your entire background in the scent of drugs is a one-day seminar?
Yes.
How long were you speaking with Sabri?
Seconds, few minutes.
So it could have been possible that you were not 100% sure that she did smell like marijuana?
I was sure.
Could it have been a possibility that Sabri was in a car with someone who had been smoking marijuana?
That could have been a possibility.
Is it true that other students were in the office at this time?
No.
So at this point, my client had not done anything wrong or against school rules.
No.
She was coming to school late and went to get a pass. And at this time, there was no drug paraphernalia or the actual drug coming out of her backpack or her pocket?
No.
All right, so you said you did search Sabri's bag?
Yes.
And did you ask my client before you searched her bag?
Yes.
And exactly what did she say?
She said, "What do you think?"
So she didn't say yes? She did not consent to the search?
She did not say yes.
Thank you. No further questions?
Ms. O'Neill, do you have any questions on redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Ms. Corbin-May, did Sabri say no to the search?
No, she did not.
No further questions.
Do you have any other witnesses?
Yes, I do. The Commonwealth would like to call Michaela McGee to the stand.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Good afternoon. Would you please state your name for the record?
Michaela McGee.
Ms. McGee, are you currently working?
Yes.
And where do you work?
Brockton High.
And what do you do there?
I am a teacher.
What building do you teach in?
Yellow.
Were you working on December 17, 2008?
Yes.
And at approximately 7:30 a.m., where were you?
I was in the office.
Were you with anyone in the office at the time?
Yes, Miss Corbin.
And where were you standing in the office?
Near the counter.
And what, if anything, happened at that time?
As I was exiting, Sabri was walking in.
Can you identify the student?
Yes. This young lady sitting down in the black sweater.
May the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant?
It may.
Did you make a certain observation?
Yes, I smelled a scent of marijuana.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Howell, do you have any cross-examination of the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. McGee, would you say that your encounter with my client was very short?
Yes.
Is it also safe to say that you didn't report this incident with anyone?
Yes.
No further questions.
The witness may step down.
Ms. O'Neill, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor. The Commonwealth rest.
Mr. Cowell, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, the defense would like to call forward Janae Perkins.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Ms. Perkins, what is your current occupation?
I'm the vice principal at Brockton High School.
And how long have you been working at the school?
7 years.
Did you have any other professions before you started working at Brockton High School?
Yes, I was a teacher.
And as in your current profession, as assistant principal, what are your responsibilities?
I'm in charge of taking care of discipline for the students and attendance records.
And on December 17th, were you working?
Yes, I was.
And at approximately 7:30, where were you?
I was in the office,
Doing what specifically?
looking over attendance records.
In that morning, during that morning, did anything significant happen?
Yes, Miss Corbin May came in and asked me to smell a student to see if I'd smelled any marijuana.
And when you smelled the student, did you smell anything?
No, I didn't, but I was fighting a cold at the time.
Were you well enough to work that day?
Yes, I was.
So you weren't completely congested?
No, I was not.
After you smelled the student, what did you do?
I came back to Miss Corbin May and I told her that I didn't smell anything, but that I was fighting a cold.
And that was the end of your conversation and encounter with my client?
No, it was not.
What else happened?
We went back to the front of the office and we talked to Miss Pearson. And after that, we ended up finding a scale, some marijuana in individual bags, 2 cell phones and a contact list in Miss Pearson's backpack. And we called police and her parents.
Before the search, was the consent by a client ever asked?
Yes, it was.
Exactly what did she say in response to the ask?
She said, "What do you think?"
So she never specifically said yes to the search?
No, she did not.
No further questions.
Ms. O'Neill, do you have any questions for cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Would you say Ms. Corbin May is not out to get students
No.
and not looking for Sabri? Sabri came into to get a pass, correct?
Correct.
After speaking to Sabri, she came and got you?
Yes, she did.
As administrators in the school, you received some training in the area of drugs, correct?
Yes.
And would you say marijuana has a distinctive smell?
Yes, I would.
Would you agree with me as vice principal, you handle some discipline issues in the school?
Yes.
And the principal handles some of those issues as well?
Correct.
With a school as large as Brockton High, you handle your fair share of problems at the school.
Correct.
So you don't need to create any problems anywhere they don't exist, correct?
Correct.
Did the principal ask Sabri if she could search her bag?
Yes, she did.
And did Sabri tell Ms. Corbin May no?
No, she did not.
When the principal was looking through her bag, Sabri did not tell her to stop or say, "I do not agree to this."
No, she did not.
Neither you or Ms. Corbin May yelled at Sabri, did you?
No.
And she was not locked in the office?
No, she wasn't.
And the principal looked in her bag because she said she smelled marijuana, correct?
Correct.
She told you this before she searched her bag, not after?
Yes, it was before.
And when you spoke to Sabri, you had a cold, correct?
Correct.
And your exact words were, "I don't smell anything, but I have a cold."
Correct.
Have you worked with Ms. Corbin May for a while?
Yes, I have.
And you're also friends?
Yes, we are.
Do you care about the students?
Yes, I do.
And would you say Ms. Corbin May cares about the students?
I would.
Would you have stopped the principal from searching the bag if you thought that there was no reason?
Yes, I would.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Carroll, do you have any questions for redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Perkins, is it true that my client never said yes to the search?
That's true.
No further questions.
Thank you.
The witness may now step down.
Okay, I'll hear the parties in argument. Ms. O'Neill, you may go first.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, you have heard the evidence Ms. Corbin May, after smelling the marijuana, after the defendant entered the office, she asked to search the defendant's backpack. The defendant never said no or told her to stop. We respectfully ask that the defendant's motion to suppress be denied.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill. Mr. Carroll, I'll hear your argument now.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'm asking for you to allow my motion to suppress. Ms. Corbin May and Ms. Perkins violated my client's constitutional rights when they searched her bag, and she never consented to the search. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll. I'm going to take this matter under advisement, and the parties will be notified as to my decision. Thank you both.
All rise.